My friends, there is a truth so simple, so often overlooked, that it explains why few succeed while the majority drift through life waiting for a miracle. Success demands more of you than comfort ever will. Every great achievement in history was born not from convenience, but from compulsion, the deliberate forcing of oneself to act in the direction of a worthy purpose. You cannot wish your way into success. You cannot wait until you feel ready. The man who waits for the perfect moment never moves. The woman who waits for the mood of inspiration dies with her song unsung. The world only rewards those who command themselves to act, especially when the heart whispers not today. The difference between mediocrity and mastery lies in one word: discipline. Discipline is the iron hand that bends emotion into purpose. It is the quiet force that keeps you working when applause fades, when progress slows, when doubt rises. It is the bridge between desire and destiny. You will not always feel motivated. You will not always feel strong. But success does not care how you feel. It only cares what you do. Force yourself to rise early. Force yourself to study while others sleep. Force yourself to build habits that shape destiny. For every time you act against your own laziness, you sharpen the blade of your willpower, and that blade, once honed, can cut through any obstacle life places before you. Remember this eternal law: you are the master of your fate because you are the master of your mind. Your thoughts are the architects, your actions the builders, and your habits the bricks of your destiny. There comes a moment in every life when a person must look into the mirror and declare, I will no longer wait for opportunity. I will create it. I will no longer hope for success. I will become the kind of person success is drawn to. So force yourself to do what success requires, and soon you will no longer need to force yourself at all, for success will have become your nature and discipline your greatest freedom. There is a power within every man and woman that, when properly directed, can lift them from the lowest valleys of struggle to the highest peaks of achievement. Yet most people never awaken this power because they never make a clear decision about what they truly want. They drift, hoping that chance will favor them, that fate will bless them, or that time itself will somehow deliver success to their doorstep. But life does not reward the drifter. It rewards the doer, the one who decides with absolute clarity what he desires, and then disciplines himself to act until that desire becomes reality. Definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all accomplishment. You must know exactly what you want before you can expect to obtain it. A ship without a compass will never reach its port, no matter how strong the wind may blow. Likewise, a mind without a definite purpose wanders endlessly, blown from one idea to another, from one emotion to the next, until the years are gone and nothing of substance remains. The man who knows what he wants, and who is willing to pay the price to achieve it, holds in his hands the key to every door that success guards. Yet knowing what you want is not enough. You must force yourself to act upon it. Every worthy goal demands the price of discipline. Success does not come to those who merely wish or hope or dream. It comes to those who move, to those who rise early, work late, and persist long after the initial enthusiasm has faded. The path to greatness is paved not with good intentions, but with daily acts of courage. The courage to do what must be done, whether you feel like it or not. You must become your own master. Before you can command the circumstances of your life, you must first command yourself. This is the hardest battle you will ever fight. The battle against the weaker self that seeks comfort, procrastination, and ease. There is a voice inside that whispers, rest a little longer, try again tomorrow. That voice is the enemy of your potential. Silence it. Replace it with the voice of purpose that says, do it now. For every time you act in spite of resistance, you strengthen the muscle of willpower. Each act of self-discipline becomes a step toward mastery. There is no substitute for consistent effort. You cannot cheat success. It demands its full price, and it demands payment in advance. Every hour of focused work, every sacrifice of comfort, every moment you choose to stay on the path when others quit, all of it accumulates into an invisible force that draws success to you. The world may not notice your struggle at first. People may doubt you, laugh at you, or question your sanity. But keep moving. The results will speak louder than words. When you possess a definite purpose, your mind becomes magnetized with it. You begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You attract ideas, people, and resources that align with your objective. The universe itself seems to bend in your favor because you have given it direction. The aimless man says, I'll take whatever comes my way. The purposeful man says, I will create what I desire. One drifts, the other directs. One complains of circumstances, the other creates them. And understand this: success does not require brilliance, luck, or privilege. It requires persistence guided by a clear purpose. The difference between the ordinary and the extraordinary lies not in talent, but in the unwavering commitment to act when others hesitate. You will meet failure, yes, but failure is only temporary for the one who refuses to accept it as final. Every setback carries within it a lesson, a seed of improvement, if only you have the courage to search for it. There will be days when your spirit is weary and your mind clouded with doubt. On those days, remember that emotion is temporary, but purpose is permanent. The man who is ruled by feelings will live a life of inconsistency. The man who is ruled by purpose becomes unstoppable. You cannot wait for inspiration to carry you forward. You must move first, and inspiration will follow. The will to act must come before the desire to act. Do not seek an easy life. Seek a meaningful one. Ease breeds weakness. Challenge breeds strength. The mountains you climb in discipline will shape the character you need to stand on the summit of success. Every great figure who ever rose to power, wealth, or influence did so by forcing themselves to do what others would not. They acted with purpose when others hesitated, and they persisted when others surrendered. Their secret was not genius. It was the courage to follow through. And so, if you would be successful, choose today to take command of your mind. Write down your purpose in clear, specific words. Read it daily. Let it burn in your consciousness until it becomes an obsession. Then act upon it with unrelenting determination. When fatigue whispers, remember your purpose. When temptation offers distraction, remember your purpose. When failure knocks at your door, greet it as a teacher and move forward. The day you learn to do what must be done, whether or not you feel like doing it, that is the day you begin to rise above the masses. That is the day success begins to recognize your name. Force yourself to do what success requires, and soon the force will no longer feel like struggle, for habit will have transformed it into second nature. Discipline, once painful, will become your ally. Purpose, once a dream, will become your reality. Because the truth is simple. You were not born to drift. You were born to direct. You were not created to wait. You were created to act. And when you align your mind, your effort, and your will toward a definite purpose, there is no force on earth that can deny you the life you have chosen to build. There is a secret possessed by every man or woman who has risen above the ordinary, a secret that transforms weakness into power and dreams into destiny. That secret is self-discipline, the ability to command yourself to do what must be done whether you feel like doing it or not. Without it, talent decays, ambition fades, and potential rots in the soil of indecision. With it, even the simplest person can achieve greatness. Self-discipline is the master key that unlocks the doors which enthusiasm alone cannot open. Every person desires success, but few are willing to submit themselves to the discipline success demands. They want the crown without the labor, the reward without the struggle, the victory without the fight. But life does not work that way. The world will test you to see if you are worthy of the thing you desire. It will ask, are you willing to control yourself? Are you willing to act in the absence of comfort? Are you willing to keep your word to yourself? Until you can answer yes through your actions, not merely through your words, you will find that opportunity slips through your fingers like sand. Self-discipline begins in the mind. It is the power to direct your thoughts, to control your emotions, and to guide your actions toward a definite end. A man who cannot control his thoughts is like a ship without a rudder. He drifts wherever the current of circumstance carries him. The disciplined man, however, sets his own course and commands the winds of habit to obey his will. He understands that no outside force can master him unless he first surrenders the reins of self-control. Every habit, good or bad, begins with a single act repeated. Each time you choose the harder right over the easier wrong, you add strength to your character. Each time you keep a promise to yourself, you increase your confidence. Each time you act when you would rather rest, you prove to your own mind that you are its master, not its slave. Discipline, therefore, is not punishment. It is liberation. It frees you from the tyranny of mood, from the prison of procrastination, from the constant sway of impulse. The man of discipline rises before the sun, not because he enjoys the early hour, but because he enjoys the results that come from it. The woman of discipline turns away from distraction, not because she is made of iron, but because she knows that focus is the price of excellence. They have learned to do what others refuse to do, and that is why they possess what others only dream about. Self-discipline is the invisible line that separates the successful from the sorrowful, the fulfilled from the frustrated. The undisciplined mind seeks comfort above all things. It whispers, rest a little longer, try again tomorrow, you've done enough. And every time you listen to that voice, you strengthen weakness. But the disciplined mind answers back, no, I move now, I do what must be done, for success waits for no one. That response is the beginning of power. That decision, repeated day after day, is the birth of greatness. The giants of history were not born with superior gifts. They were ordinary people who learned to master themselves when it mattered most. There will be days when you are tired, when no one believes in you, when the progress you make seems too small to matter. Those are the days that test your discipline. Remember, anyone can act when it's easy. The true measure of character is found in what you do when the world is not watching, when there is no applause, when the only voice urging you forward is your own. That is when champions are made. Every ounce of discipline in those lonely hours is a down payment on the rewards that will one day appear. The disciplined person lives by principle, not by passion. He works from decision, not from desire. He understands that feelings are fleeting, but commitments endure. He treats his goals as commands, not suggestions. And through this unwavering obedience to his higher purpose, he gradually shapes his destiny. Others may envy his success, but few are willing to endure the sacrifice that built it. Discipline is the price you pay for freedom. The freedom to live on your own terms, to fulfill your potential, and to stand tall among those who surrendered to weakness. If you would rise to any height of achievement, you must first conquer yourself. Conquer the laziness that whispers excuses. Conquer the fear that freezes your ambition. Conquer the doubt that tells you you're not ready. For every moment you delay, someone with greater discipline moves ahead. Time does not pause for hesitation. Each sunrise brings the same question. Will you command this day, or will you allow it to command you? There is a law as certain as gravity. Those who master themselves master their world. The disciplined person becomes a magnet for opportunity, because people trust the one who keeps his word, who delivers what he promises, who does not crumble under pressure. His consistency becomes his reputation, and his reputation becomes his reward. The world bows to the individual who first bows to his own principles. In the end, success is not an act, it is a habit, and habit is born of discipline. When you force yourself to do what success requires, you gradually eliminate the need for force. The struggle becomes strength, and strength becomes nature. The actions that once demanded effort begin to flow effortlessly. Because discipline has rewritten the code of your character, you become the kind of person who simply does what needs to be done, without debate, without delay, without doubt. So when you rise tomorrow, remember this truth. The easiest path leads downward. The harder path, the one of self-control, consistency, and effort, is the only one that leads upward. Force yourself to walk that road. Force yourself to think clearly, act decisively, and stay loyal to your purpose. And one day, when others call you lucky, you will know the truth. Luck had nothing to do with it. It was discipline, quiet, steady, relentless discipline, that made you unstoppable. There are two mighty forces that shape every destiny, faith and action. One without the other is powerless. Faith alone can inspire, but without action it remains a dream. Action alone can move, but without faith it lacks direction. Only when these two forces unite does a person unlock the full measure of their potential. Faith is the seed, action is the growth. Faith is the vision, action is the work that brings it to life. Together, they form the heartbeat of all achievement. Every great accomplishment begins with belief. Belief in oneself, in a cause, in the unseen possibility of something greater. Before any invention, discovery, or success appeared in the physical world, it existed first as a thought in the mind of one who refused to doubt. Faith gives birth to vision. It allows a person to see the result before it exists, to feel the triumph before it is won. But faith, if not followed by movement, becomes a comfortable illusion, a fantasy that deceives the dreamer into thinking progress has been made when, in truth, nothing has changed. Action is faith's companion, its proof, and its power. When you act upon your belief, you declare to the world, I trust that what I seek is possible, and I am willing to move toward it. Every step you take in faith strengthens that belief. Every deed done in courage makes your conviction real. You cannot wait for certainty before acting, for certainty never comes to those who stand still. Action itself creates certainty. The moment you begin, the path reveals itself. Those who demand to see the whole staircase before taking the first step will wait forever at the bottom. Faith and action are like wings. With one alone, you only circle in place, but with both you rise. The man who believes without acting remains a dreamer. The man who acts without believing becomes a laborer without vision. But the man who believes deeply and acts boldly becomes a creator, a builder of worlds, a master of circumstances, a conqueror of his own limitations. His faith fuels his effort, and his effort justifies his faith. There will be moments when doubt whispers to you. It will tell you that your goal is too far, your dream too grand, your chances too small. It will tempt you to retreat into the safety of hesitation. But remember this truth, doubt and fear are only shadows that vanish when faced with the light of decisive action. You cannot think your way out of fear. You must act your way out of it. Each time you move forward in spite of uncertainty, you prove to your own mind that faith is stronger than fear, and soon fear loses its grip on you. Action is the language of belief. It is how the invisible becomes visible, how the ideal becomes the real. A person who truly believes will act no matter the obstacles. Faith that does not move your hands, your feet, your heart, and your will is not faith at all. It is mere wishing. To have faith is to know that your labor will bear fruit, even when the soil looks barren. To act on that faith is to plant the seed and water it daily, confident that the harvest will come in its own time. Do not wait for the perfect moment to act. Perfection is the enemy of progress. The greatest achievements began in imperfection. The first step is rarely graceful, but it is always necessary. Action refines belief, and belief strengthens action. The two grow together, shaping each other like flame and air. With each attempt, your faith deepens. With each result, your confidence expands. In this cycle, you become unstoppable. For no failure can destroy a spirit that believes and acts again. Faith and action demand courage. The courage to move when you cannot see the end. The courage to keep building when results are not yet visible. There will be times when the effort feels wasted, when progress seems invisible, when no one believes in you, but those are the proving grounds of greatness. Faith whispers, keep going, and action answers, I will. Together they carve a path where none existed before. Success, in its purest form, is the result of this harmony. It is the reward given to those who dared to believe when others doubted, and who dared to act when others hesitated. Every mountain ever climbed began with a single step taken in faith. Every empire built began with a single decision, backed by relentless action. Those who wait for the right mood, the right time, or the right sign miss the truth. The right time is the moment you decide to move. Faith without work is a dream. Work without faith is labor. But faith with work is creation. It is power. It is the force that transforms an ordinary life into an extraordinary one. When you live in that union, you no longer chase success. You attract it because the energy of belief and the momentum of effort make you magnetic. You become the kind of person who not only envisions the impossible, but brings it into existence. So if you would rise above the crowd, stop waiting for guarantees, stop seeking permission, stop asking, will this work? And start declaring, I will make this work. Stand on your faith and let your actions speak louder than your fears. Each small deed done in belief becomes a brick in the foundation of your success. Each disciplined effort is a declaration that you will not be stopped. Force yourself to act upon what you believe, even when no one else sees your vision. Faith will give you the courage to start. Action will give you the strength to continue. And when your faith and your action finally meet their reward, The world will call it luck or fate, but you will know the truth. It was neither luck nor fate. It was the deliberate partnership between your belief and your labor. It was faith in motion. It was the quiet, relentless union of thought and deed that brought your dream to life. That, and only that, is the power that builds empires, heals failure, and transforms an ordinary existence into a masterpiece of purpose. Believe, act, persist, and success will not only follow you, it will belong to you. There comes a moment in every life when emotion fades and only persistence remains at the beginning of any great journey. Enthusiasm burns bright. You feel the thrill of a new goal, the excitement of possibility, the rush of purpose. But emotion is a spark, not a flame. It lights the path, but it cannot sustain the journey. When the excitement dies, when the results are slow, when the road grows dark and uncertain, that is when the true test begins. Success belongs not to the one who feels inspired, but to the one who keeps moving when inspiration is gone. Emotion is temporary. Persistence is eternal. Feelings change like the weather, bright one day, stormy the next. But persistence is the calm beneath the storm, the unshakable determination that says, I will continue, no matter how I feel. It is the refusal to quit when comfort calls, the courage to act when doubt screams, the quiet voice that repeats, keep going. That voice, steady and strong, is the mark of greatness. Too many people surrender their dreams the moment the thrill wears off. They begin with passion, but end in excuse. They say, I've lost my motivation, as if success waits for emotion's permission. But the truth is simple. You are not meant to be ruled by feeling. You are meant to be ruled by will. The man who acts only when he feels inspired will never build anything lasting because emotions are fleeting. The man who acts regardless of feeling becomes unstoppable because persistence outlives emotion every time. The successful do not always feel powerful. They simply persist in spite of weakness. They do not always feel confident. They persist through doubt until confidence returns. They do not always feel motivated. They rely on discipline until motivation catches up. They understand that persistence is not about how you feel today, but about what you do every day. Every mountain demands this lesson. At the base, excitement fuels the climb. Midway, fatigue arrives, and emotion begins to fade. Near the summit, pain shouts